Hello, my name is Lizzie. Each fortnight I'm bringing along a different origami fold, and that's to encourage you to take some time out for your well-being. I think just slowly taking time with a piece of paper, you can find a surprising amount of joy from something so simple. I think it's something maybe that we've done as children, and it's lovely to rediscover as an adult and find that there's so much you can do. These films are all dedicated to my colleagues at UCLH Hospital in London, for my colleagues, for the staff, as well as patients, but actually they're for everybody, these films. I hope you'll enjoy them. We've got a big library of films now. So this week, this fortnight, I thought I'd bring along a traditional Kusudama, another medicine ball. The idea is sort of balls of flowers that make you feel better. This is very much in the Japanese spirit where they will use glue. So it's the kind of older traditional to make something beautiful. I think in contemporary origami, wonderful, inventive, astonishing creativity to create interlock structures. In this case, it's putting together a very simple structure, and with a little bit of glue in the corners, you can actually make this beautiful piece. I made this one a few years ago, and I hang it up underneath a lamp, and the way that the light comes through, I just find enchanting. And it really makes me think of flowers. From something quite simple, you get a very complex and a very beautiful thing, which I just keep loving looking at. You can also even put lights in them as well. Here's one that I've made. I think you can see you can add colours inside it as well. It looks rather nice at night. So there's many things you can do. You can use different coloured papers. So actually we just make 6 units, that's it, and put them together. And I think it's a really stunning effect, and they really make me feel happy. So I thought this was a good time to share with you. I thought very good for spring. So grab yourself some paper. To make a kusudama in this case, you will need 6 pieces of paper, and they need to be matching, so matching sizes, and maybe you can think of a nice little balance of different colours. I'm just going to show you with white. Any paper will do, and let's just enjoy this little journey that this will bring you on. So just showing you how to make, first of all, a little square of paper. It depends obviously the size that you're going to make. I would start off a bit bigger because it's easier that way, and then go smaller. I've actually put, can you see in the background, this amazing little array that I did of different folds, and it's to remind me actually that this principle could be used for so many different folds. You could experiment and maybe make all sorts of different flower balls. So all I've done is fold a piece of paper in half, as usual, being very exact, very strong folds. That's some tension, very relaxing that way. And then I'm opening it up, and as I said, I just take your time. This is time for you. It has no real purpose other than for your own enjoyment, your own pleasure, and there's nothing like doing something, making something to really lift mood. So I've just got a 5 piece of paper. I'm going to take the corner and I'm going to line it up down there at the bottom. Nice little sharp right angled triangle. I think it's the order of this which can be very nice, but it's very structural. How you go from the flat to the 3D is a wonderful thing. I'm going to remove this little rectangle, so turning it over, bringing this back, and a good squash down there. Looks a bit like a Robin Hood's hat. And then I'm going to open this up and remove this rectangle. All I'm doing is showing you how to make a square so far. I usually end up using these for making lists, but maybe there's something good that you could fold from them. So here we go, nice square of paper. So I've got one diagonal line, and we're now going to do the other diagonal line. So if you had origami paper, sometimes it can be white on one side and colours on the other. This would be the white side, I think. So I've done one diagonal, let's do the other diagonal. That's it, and just enjoy the little order, the shapes, the feel of the paper. Slowing down, there we go. So my next move, it's all on the same side, is to fold this in half to make a rectangle. There we go, and I just hope you're making some nice time for yourself. Nice cup of tea by you, maybe. And the good thing with this is you can just pause, go slowly, go back, I'm going to do the other horizontal or vertical. That's it. So this starts off, I think it's something called a windmill case, because it looks a bit like a windmill at one point. There we go. So I've done all my directions. Our next step is to take the top and bring it to the middle point. So there we go. So I brought it to the middle point, and I'm going to do the same now at the bottom, bring that to the middle point. There we go. So I guess as I hold it up, it looks like a cupboard. And I'm going to take now the top and bring it to the middle line again. So it's kind of getting smaller and smaller. Again, just take your time. So I've brought that to the middle point. I'm going to take the outside and bring that to the middle line as well. Enjoying every step. I think there's something about origami where you can do the same thing many times, but I still feel fully engaged, and that I learn new things each time and appreciate it all. You sort of feel like you start afresh, like that fresh page almost. It's new every time. I think that's something really precious. Although, yeah, it definitely gets easier with time, but here we go. So I just want you to open up one side, and I'm going to do a little diagonal fold from there to there. So to do that, it's fairly easy. I'd recommend on a solid surface, but I'm just saying hello at the same time. So I'm taking this edge and I'm lining it up there, like so, and then squashing it in the corner, like so. And then do the same thing on the other side. So taking this line and bringing it down there. So I'm opening this up, and I'm bringing it down so it lines up there. Nice little diagonal line. And you can see how this is all sort of opened up. What you should be able to do is just push it down. Looks like a little house. That's it, like so. There we go. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm tilting it round, opening up this side. Same thing again, taking this edge and I'm lining it up there. Maybe you might experiment with different coloured papers. Maybe you could have drawn or written things on it that you'd like to feel or that you find interesting. So many possibilities with origami that you can change a piece of paper. That inside line to down there. Same thing again. Again, there's a nice little bit of repetition to it, which is that symmetry that it gives you as well. Tends to be more with flowers, but I like that. There we go. Tilting it round, pushing that down. And again, it's like, now it's like a two-roofed house. It's not quite like a house, is it? Making sure there's no little wrinkles. Hopefully you've given those good, strong, accurate lines. It just makes everything easier. Right, so I'm putting it up like that. And just to show you, it can become a windmill. So taking each side and just pushing it down. And can you see it's giving that diagonal line? There we go. And then same next one. I'm just adding it just so it's easy, so that each of these sides is sticking up. Again, just going along each of these lines. That's it. Making sure you're happy with that. Good thing with paper is you can fold until you're happy with it. It's very flexible and yet holds that fold. So it's looking something like that. Now our next step is to get your finger into one of these corners and just squash down to make a square. Again, make sure there's no creases. There we go. Same with the next one. So putting your finger in there, squashing it down. I might tilt it down. It's definitely a bit harder into a camera. So we're going to tilt this down, pushing that down like so. Next one, same thing, pop your finger in and squash it down. So this sort of more accurate those lines are, the easier all of this is. So if you're struggling, it's often because things haven't been quite so accurate. But you know what? You live and learn as you go along. I just enjoy that. Look at that. It's a beautiful thing. All those layers. So our next step is to take this inside line and bring it out to that, along that diagonal line. and that's what you're going to do on each side. So from the middle, bring it along there. Same with this facing one here. Need to see what I'm doing. There we go. And then same with the next one, that side. Bring it along there. Next one. There we go. Almost there. It's sort of holding it down a bit as well as you're going along. Again, there's just something. So you will end up doing this 6 times in total. 6 times, which will effectively make a sort of cube, but it looks nothing like a cube. I think that's what's delightful about it. I don't think you would instantly guess that that's what it's made from. It's the 3-dimensional side of it that makes it even more interesting. There we go. So our next step is to take these top bits and just fold back like that. Each of these fold back like so. Here we go. There we go. All right. So now each one of these we open up and take that top layer. Take that top layer, and I guess I'm holding that there. I'm opening this up and just gently, gently rolling in the sides, changing the direction there. There we go. Until it's all squashed down there. Next one. So again, open up flaps, take that top layer, bringing it up, rolling in the sides. To be honest, just take your time, because actually this does need a little bit of time to just gently get things behaving well, changing those directions. It's not one to rush. And actually the point is not the end product, it's this time together. Opening this up, wrapping this up. And if you were to do the 6, then you can just replay all of this, but I think you'll soon get the hang of it. And I think that's the great thing, a little bit of repetition means you'll find yourself beginning to remember it and experiencing how different it is as you go along. That's it. There we go. So what you've got is this lovely, it looks like a star, and it's kind of, I find it quite magical because it just shows the shape-shifting side of origami, because this is something I've done as a star for other times as well. You could make it into a festive star, but no, we're going to make this into a flower. So to do that, if you look on the back, you've got these little flaps, and what you'll be doing to make one of these gorgeous kusudamas is you will be taking each of those corners in the side. Can you see it in there? Just about. That little bit sticking down. That little bit sticking down. That's those corners stuck together. So I would use, to be honest, PVA, and maybe also using a little clip. If you've got some kind of clip, it could be almost a washing peg. But if you've got smaller, it might be better. I've been using little craft ones you can get like for stationery type things, or a paper clip. Any of those things would work. I'll just show you how I will do it. I'm afraid I can't show it to you all in one go, because I have to say I tend to do it as a few stages actually. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pop some glue on there. There we go. Just a little bit of PVA, and actually along there as well. So it's that bit and that whole length. A little bit there. Now if you've got the second one, but you need to have made 6 of these. 6 of them. Then also making sure that this is down, and then they go together there. So let me see, a bit hard to show, but can you see I have linked those two together, and also this top bit as well, and try and get them matching as much as possible so that they really do fit together. So like that. And I would add a little clip. So you're doing that really for each of the corners, and if you think about it, you're trying to make a square inside. It looks nothing like when it comes together. I'll see maybe if I can do another side just to show you. Again, make sure each time these are down. Another one I made earlier here. Again, these are down, and it's the down that you stick together. And the idea is you need 6 to stick together, and inside is actually a square. It doesn't look anything like, does it? I just love it. So each of these you're making into a cube inside there. So here I'm going to do one more, and then I'm afraid it's over to you to figure it out. But if you just think of a cube, I think you'll get there. And I'm going to put in a little bit of glue. You want a bit, not too much. If you can, I would use PVA, not Pritt stick. You could, or a glue stick you could, but it's usually not as strong. PVA is excellent. You just need the tiniest bit. Let me see, again, getting those together. And you're going to have to think of what it is you're building up. Again, I'm going to do this, and maybe I'll show you one more corner. The good thing is with this, you end up with little holes, so you can undo those clips whilst it comes together. Can you see? Because you can grab it. But I'm going to do just one more side so you can get a feeling for what it is that we're building up. Again, making sure that these little flaps that are down, and then they glue together. Maybe if I just clip that for now, and you can see. Because I want to show you one last thing, which is delightful. So you can see what you can do and how you can undo these when or it could be a paper clip. A paper clip will work as well. But can you see this is one side of it, and that's the inside of it. So you're building up a cube, and that will work great. And actually, once it's all done, I would suggest that you do it in a few goes. I ended up putting on a radiator to dry out, or just leaving it for a little bit. And then really opening up each of these inside bits, and that's what makes it sort of transform into a beautiful, it's like the flowers, the petals opening up, and doing that on each of the sides, and it starts to look much nicer. It opens it and changes the shape. So there you go. So that's what you're doing on each of these sides, like so. And your Kusudama should finally emerge. And here all I've done is I've tied a little piece of string and just hung it through there. No need for making any holes or anything. So I hope that works for you. I hope you'll enjoy it, because I think it's absolutely delightful. Happy folding, everyone. Bye bye.